हमारा सुकून बेमज़ा तुम्हारा जुनून बेकमाल हमारा सुकून बेमज़ा तुम्हारा जुनून बेकमाल
Red candy. You took a pen, drew an image of you and me. You said that it was beautiful, that the way our arms are interlocked was beautiful, like a rabbit's foot in a hunter's trap. The way the lines flow, like how eternity seems to be, in a chopped, broken serenity. I took a finger and traced it along my inked jawline. I wasn't surprised at all to find bumps on the pen tip's pressure on what's supposed to be a smooth texture. You are the man I love, after all, and the man I love has strong, firm, muscled arms. Ink is the gnarled image on your palm, and remember it, you seem to say, mouthing the words in that pair of inky black lips of yours. There wasn't a need to ink it on my palm, nor anywhere else in my mind. Your words are like scarification. It hurts with a euphoric flip to the heart, and it lasts for a lifetime. I locked the silk of your voice in the seams of my white overalls, and fell asleep with your hand in mine, glorious in all its ink. Then I had a dream of orange forests and green skies. I had thought that it was weird how the dyes of nature bleed into each other, like how the sky bleeds in dusk and dawn, seemingly never running out of blood and paint. It seemed so dreamy and surreal, the way dreams are fluffy and soft, like how your favorite velvet coat always seemed to be. We will reign the world with a pen in hand. You will be my queen, and I will be your king. It feels like cotton the way it absorbs my tears into smiles whenever you say that, and the corner of your mouth curls up. I've always thought that it's such an irony, you with all your pen and torture, me with my pencil and eraser. You always liked to pen your thoughts out, using my white overalls as your paper and my dyed tears as ink. You said that I will be able to erase it if I didn't like it, and I think I have a choice in that. After all, I had an eraser in hand. But I didn't mind, having all your illustrations on my white overalls, till it was filled with your thoughts and emotions dyed red by my tears. You say that it is because red is the color of love, and you love me. I believed you. I've read in books that you only cry when you feel something really strong, and I think that's why I always cry whenever you want to ink something on my white overalls. It feels so beautiful, the way I'm your canvas, the way you smile at the messiest of mess I made with my crimson tears. You are always so careful when you work with me, and it makes me feel as though I'm fragile. Maybe that will be the only thing I have against you. I've always thought that I was a strong girl, the way I can withstand the pricks on my skin whenever you pen something on my white overalls. It's not thick enough, so it's inevitable that I will prick your skin accidentally. You always say, and I'll always believe, because you are the only light I know. In my life of swing sets and orange forests, I still believe your words of never wanting to hurt me when your pen turns into the sharp blade I always think you're using on my white overalls, the reek of cold and steel. But I keep quiet even though I don't like the feeling of cold metal on my skin, because you are my light, and I'll always believe. Somewhere along the way of me and you, my white overalls became dyed with the deepest shade of crimson I've ever seen in my life of swing sets and orange forests. You told me that I was beautiful, with all my red glory, but you said that I wasn't perfect, because of the bit of white left in my overalls. You frowned when you saw that white bit, and I didn't like it. I told you to dye it red, with me providing the red dye like I've always done. But you shook your head and gave me a pat on my head. Then it was my birthday, the day when you first found me among the crowds of thoughts and ideas. You asked me what I wanted, and I gave you the sweetest smile I could muster and requested for a white balloon. You shook your head again. This time you did not pat my head, but instead you gave me a piece of red candy. I thought that it was weird. Isn't red the color of love? So why did you give me a piece of red candy, and gave me a look that said devour it? I did not understand, but as I sucked on the candy, a strange thing happened. Suddenly it wasn't sweet anymore, like how candies are supposed to be. Suddenly your favorite coat wasn't on that rack anymore, but on the floor with you. That I did not think was strange. I was the one who pushed you down on the floor after all. This time you were covered with pools of crimson red tears that you always use as your ink. You looked so beautiful that I almost thought you were an angel. I sat down beside you and realized that the red is the same as that of the candy you gave me. I put a finger into that pool and lifted it up to my mouth for a tasting. Today must be a realizing day, because I realized another thing yet again. It tastes the same as that red candy you gave me, that red candy that used to be in that hollow in your chest, that red candy that you gave me, a present that I just accepted today, using the cold metal blade of your pen.